Welcome to High Street Matters, a podcast from Bira, the British Independent Retailers Association. My name's Steve Dyson, a journalist who's interviewing business owners and experts about issues that impact independent retailers today. High Street Matters explores crucial subjects such as consumer trends for retail crimes, and from parking charges to staffing, and it provides top tips to help businesses stay ahead of the curve. In our latest episode, we're looking at how Bira is working with artificial intelligence, or AI, to help provide a service that can help independent traders to increase their profiles, customer footfall, and revenues. I'm going to be interviewing Melanie Beard. She's the co-owner of the Best Health Food Shop, a mini chain of outlets based in the south of England, and she's a passionate convert for AI solutions for her business's social media. But joining me first will be Polly Barnfield, the founder and chief executive of a company called Maybe, which has created unique AI programs to transform traders' digital communications. Hello, Polly Barnfield of Maybe.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. Polly, tell me a bit more about yourself, about Maybe and its AI solutions for Bira members.
So, Steve, I founded Maybe about 10 years ago, and its initial sort of kernel of an idea was that the way that we make decisions has changed dramatically in our sort of multi-channel world. Maybe has evolved over the years, and a really transformational moment for us was that we won a contract with the High Street Task Force for the UK government that required us to understand the place sentiment across 3,600 high streets in the UK. And to do that, we had to gather the social media data from 3.9 million independent retailers. So it's been a fascinating journey. We've been listening to the conversation from the high street for over 5 years now and used AI to make sense of it. And there were some really big things that we learned from that. Number one, we started using AI really early. Number two, it revealed that those that did social media well did disproportionately well. Social media brought people to their stores. So it revealed a disconnect between what's perceived as offline and online. It's all one world. And number three, and most frighteningly, it showed that less than 19% of independent retailers say anything on a monthly basis. Now, that data meant that the government asked us to do a lot of training around digital, and it's how we met Bira. And so we've trained about 25,000 independent retailers about how to increase their digital footprint. And we've got some great case studies from places like Hereford, where we trained, I think it was 1,500 businesses over a 6-month period. And the footfall in some of the towns like Ledbury went up by 15% for the businesses that were regularly posting. Now, as I said, we were using AI to really make it work for ourselves. And about 2 years ago, we thought, gosh, AI has transformed our business. It's enabling us to answer questions in 13 seconds and get better ratings than when our people do it. There must be a way for us to help independent businesses solve this problem of not creating content. Because the reason that businesses aren't digital enough is it's massive. The whole effort you've got to put into creating content is quite overwhelming. What do I say? When do I say it? How do I do it? How do I post it on all these channels? And so over the last 18 months, we've taken a really proven process that we've used and turned it into a system that businesses like Melanie can use. And working with partners like Bira have made it available to the smallest businesses in the land, who I believe are the heart of our community.
It sounds fantastic, Polly, but how does this actually work for the average trader? And how is it different from other emerging AI services like ChatGPT, which businesses can find anywhere?
That's a great question. So ChatGPT, you can go and use it today. It's brilliant. But it doesn't know how to be you. And you can't tell it your secrets, because if you tell it your secrets, it will share them with the world. So you have an alternative. You can continue using that, that's fine, but it can't be you. So the itch that we were trying to scratch with Maybe, and I think we're pretty proud of what we've achieved, is that anybody without any technical experience can connect their website, connect their social media and upload any information they like, for example, their stock list, their prices, and they can change that whenever they like. And then the AI knows how to be you. It listens to what your website's saying, what your social media is saying. You can upload your price list, you can upload your stock package, you can upload your offers. And when you ask it to create social content or create emails or write blog posts or write a new website for you, it's doing it intrinsically as you. We've also got a whole area on it where it will write prompts for you. So AI is only as good as the instructions you give it. It's like your team. If you don't tell them what to do, unless they're really brilliant, they tend not to get it right. If you want AI to be a valued member of your team, and most importantly, provide each of your team with more hours in the day, what maybe does is makes it possible for them all to have a trained assistant that knows how to be your company. And as a business owner, you can create sort of standard operating procedures that they press, and the AI then does the work. So it's not about taking jobs away. I think AI is like the difference between the horse and cart and the car. We kept going places, we just got there quicker. AI helps you get there quicker. But you need to have it in a secure and safe environment where your data is not going into the big model. And that's what maybe does. It makes it really simple for anybody to get better results from AI.
Again, it sounds wonderful, Polly, but what are the results for traders? Has it helped them? Is it increasing footfall? Is it increasing revenue? Has it increased profits? Give me some examples of what's happened.
Oh, that's a pressing question, Steve. So, yes, I think you have to break that down piece by piece because there is no magic button in life. There is no holy grail. But what you have to do is incrementally improve everything you do as a business. Now, we can't abandon the fact that 82% of consumers make their mind up based upon something they see when they're scrolling. So in order for you to be found, you've got to create more content. And you've got to create content that's about you. Now you've got two choices, which is you can use GPT and it will probably be a bit bland. You'll create content, but it won't be your essence. If you don't do it, less people find you. We've already proven that. So the big projects we've done with government, we've literally tracked the footfall through people's doors and compared businesses that are being active digitally to those that are not. And the difference is catastrophic. That if you don't say anything, less people turn up. We've got amazing case studies of people being able to spend £250 on ads and have £50,000 back in 6 hours. That's an extreme example, but it's because they've got to grips with digital. And the block to getting to grips with digital is always, I don't know what to create content-wise. So our real focus with maybe AI is taking away that block so you can create content on demand for every channel and get better, because just start. Even the most cynical businesses that think this is just not, it's about saving time. It's about you've got to do this, but how do you do it in the time constraints you've already got? The genie's out of the bottle. We've all got to trade in a digital world. Even if you don't sell online, you've still got to have a voice online. And the whole purpose of maybe AI is to make it incredibly easy for you to create content that sounds like you. And you've got the support sat alongside it to hold your hand when you get stuck, because it's difficult. But our job is to make it a whole lot easier.
Good stuff. Now let's speak to one of the Bira members who's using maybe AI to find out how it's working for her. Joining me now is Melanie Beard. She's the co-owner of the Best Health Food Shop, a mini chain of outlets based in the south of England. Hello to you, Melanie.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for joining us, Melanie. Briefly tell our listeners about the Best Health Food Shop. When and where did you launch your outlets? What do they focus on? And how are things going commercially?
Thanks. Okay, so we established Best Health Food Shop, the company, in 2016, myself and my partner, Len Glenville. We purchased our first health food shop, which was a going concern. It had been going for about 8 years in Shoreham by Sea in West Sussex. Myself and Len, I'd been in the natural health industry for about 15 years at that point, and he'd been in it most of his life due to his mother being quite a well-known nutritionist. We decided to embark on health food shops, and it kind of all grew from there, really. After about a year of learning the ropes about how that worked, because it was a completely new venture for us. In retail, we launched our second shop from scratch in Tunbridge Wells in Kent, which was my old hometown. And then we kind of grew from there. And in 2019, we acquired two new shops, one in Uckfield in East Sussex, one in another one in Tunbridge Wells, and one in Worthing. So we were all going great guns. We had 5 shops, and then unfortunately COVID hit. So that kind of changed our trajectory quite a bit. Post COVID, we unfortunately had to close a few of those shops for various reasons. And then we acquired 2 new shops, one in Lewes, one in Uckfield. And then we have just recently opened a new shop in Eastbourne. It's been a crazy few years. So it's been 8 years in total this year. We still have the Shoreham shop, and we focus mainly on being a community health store. We're always maybe in secondary high streets in smaller towns, so that we can become much more of a place for people to visit, to come to get advice and guidance. And that's what we've always tried to achieve. Commercially now, I feel that it's been a very tough few years, and it continues to be so on the high street for various reasons. But we felt that it was the right time to launch a new store, and gradually footfall and spend have started to go back to what they were pre-COVID. So it's looking positive on that front.
It certainly sounds like quite a journey, Melanie, and it's
Yes.
encouraging to hear that post-COVID, your businesses are expanding again, especially with the recent opening of your latest branch. Now, I know that you've been directly involved in recent times with AI, the artificial intelligence technology,
Yes.
that experts at Maybe are offering Bira members like yourself to help write about, market and promote their businesses. Tell us more about how you started using this.
Okay, so we became members of the National Association of Health Stores in 2019, which also includes membership to Bira. That's how we became Bira members. And in 2021, I think it was, myself and Len actually became the chair. The chairman and deputy chair of that association, which is now called Health Stores UK. So when Bira collaborated with Maybe, and we got an email about it, I sort of went onto it sort of twofold, really. One was to look at it for the stores, and the other one was to look at it for our members, for the association, to see if it was something that we could try and see if it was appropriate for our members. I have to be honest that I kind of went on the initial webinar thinking it was going to be a bit of a gimmick, but the skeptic that I am, and so I sort of had the webinar on in the background, and was getting on with my work and typing away and only half listening, and then something sort of caught my ear, as it were, and I started to get quite excited about it. It was a really interesting webinar. They went through, it was specifically for Bira members, and it went through a speedy sort of overview of what Maybe does as a piece of software. And I came away super excited, and I was telling everybody about it, and everyone was, like thinking I was gone a bit mad. And then I signed up for it, and you get kind of an onboarding session with one of their people, and it was just really great from there on in. It was really easy to set up. It was really easy. The training was really good. It was really supportive, and I'm not a technical person. I'm not a social media person, but the way that the AI works and the things that it can do for you, I just got really excited about it. And I just realised at that point that it was going to be a bit of a game changer. But I almost felt at that point like you didn't want to tell anyone. It was like a secret that I'd found out and thought, but I thought that's really terrible, isn't it? But I have since told people about it. But I thought I would just try it out on our businesses, because we had quite a complex social media presence that was not set up by myself. But maybe really helped me kind of undo all that and make it much, much simpler so that I could just crack on with the content and the bits like that. So yeah, that was how I started with it.
I'm keen to know, Melanie, why the maybe AI is better than what you did before, or why it works more efficiently than paying human beings to do it for you. How does it work? Is it not easier to talk to people about what you need? How does the AI actually work with you?
Well, in answer to your first question, I think previously what we were doing, we had pre-COVID, we'd taken on a few social media companies to do the work for us because it was something that I didn't know anything about, but understood the importance of social media and that we needed to be on it. But I found with that not only was it very expensive, in excess of, it could be £500, sometimes it went up to nearly £1,000 a month. But I found that only I know my business, only the staff and myself and Len, we know our business, we know our products, we know our brand. And so when you're speaking to a human, you end up for an agency, because you're just another person on their books, as it were, you have to give them such detailed briefs of what you want and what you need. And I almost felt like I was providing them with all the content and having to look over all of their posts in order to make sure that they had the right tone, the right voice. They weren't saying anything they couldn't in regards to supplement, And so in the end, I kind of thought, and it was taking up so much time. And I thought, this doesn't really work for me. I'm spending all this money, but I'm also spending all this time. So then I decided to stop that and to do it myself. And I did do some during COVID, to keep in touch with people, to let them know what was going on. But then I kind of came to a bit of a sorry stop to it, because I knew the ideas I had, but I didn't have anything that could put those ideas into a reality, into content that was actually working. I mistrusted the AI right from the very start. So I was trying to trick it and break it, and I was asking it all these strange questions. But it's basically just as easy as, it's like a chat box. So your personalized AI, you will just go on into the software and say, I want to write an Instagram post about vitamin C, and it will just write you a post. And then you can say, well, I don't like that. Can you change that? Can you make it more about this? Can you do this, that, and the other? And, with the pleases and thank yous, because for some reason I feel like the AI likes me to be polite. And then you can create images, you can create AI images, or you can go onto the media library, and then you can just schedule your posts for whenever you like. You can even send them for approval in the system if you've got somebody else in the shop that, if you had staff that were doing it, and they could send it to you for approval before it got posted. It's just really simple. It requires no previous social media knowledge, because I don't have any. It requires no real technical knowledge. It is just as simple as typing a sentence and getting information back. And you don't even have to spell it right. You don't have to put any grammar in it. And it starts to learn your brand. It starts to understand. It looks at your website. It understands your message, your USPs over time. There is new functionality in it now where you can download information into it to make it learn quicker. I mean, it does like 1,000 things, and I probably only use 4 of them. It has got enormous capability, but for my basic, I just want to be able to post on social media every day, and it to take me 5 minutes. I want to be able to schedule those posts. I want some nice images, and I want to get some feedback on. I want to be able to report on how well my post did and things like that. But you can ask it anything. It's got a creations calendar on it, which is also really useful. So it will tell you on any given day whether it's National Hamburger Day or whether it's Organic September, so that it will create posts around things like that if you're looking for inspiration. So it saved me a whole load of money, a whole load of time, and it's sort of inspired me to get more creative with social media, because the really painful bit, the turning my ideas into reality and into a decent social media post, that's all been taken away from me. That's all done by the AI.
And I guess you've got that time back to spend on what you need it for in terms of face-to-face stuff in the shops, getting your stock in, etc.
Absolutely. It gives me that time to really, really focus on what the shops are doing, and also to be able to converse with them to find out what's going well, what's working, what's not working, and on the other side of that, create social media posts around that. So if I'm more aware, more available to, go to speak to the people, go to the shops, see what's selling, see what's not selling, it gives me more inspiration and ideas for things that we should be posting on social media. And I have to say that, it really came into its own when launching a new store, because I had to create social media accounts from scratch for the new store. So I've got no followers, no nothing. I'm starting from a complete blank page, and I've got to get the message out there that the store's opening on a particular date, and I've got maybe 3 or 4 weeks to do that. And I couldn't have done that without something like Maybe. And that it was 90% responsible for the people that turned up on our open day, because I could so easily. I was doing Instagram reels and posts every day while we were preparing the store, creating that excitement, and I would never have been able to do that on my own. It just would never. I'd have done one post and then forgotten all about it.
It sounds like you're doing quite a lot with it, that the output's quite a lot, but the cost, I understand, is quite low.
It's very low. So there's a really great Bira deal that they're doing. So they've collaborated with Bira. So they're offering 50% off for the first year. So it's £45 a month. And we've got multiple social media accounts, because each of our shops has its own social media, its own Facebook, its own Instagram, its own TikTok, its own Google business profiles. And so we've been able to set up over 30 social media accounts within that. Whereas in my experience, agencies or people that you use, they charge you per platform, per store, as it were. So for £45 a month, it's a no-brainer. And anyone can use it. You can use it for anything, not just social media. I use it for writing blogs, for writing emails, for writing content on my website, for writing content to put into leaflets or flyers or posters. If I need any help, because I can kind of come up with a single idea, but I can't turn it into something, marketing and promotional. So I can just give it to the AI and say, write me a blog about organic September, and it will write me a blog, and I can change it, and I can ask it to do anything with that. So I think it's brilliant.
And just to focus, Melanie, on the actual results, you kind of mentioned how it had worked with the new store, but overall, is Maybe's AI helping you to grow? Is the AI responsible for increasing your footfall?
I think it's a difficult question, because I believe that it's quite hard to actually pinpoint, because I made that post, it created that customer to come in. However, I can certainly see the difference in when I post about a particular product, or a particular special offer. People will come in and say, "Oh, I see you've got that on special offer." So it's working. So it's only
Yes.
ever having a positive effect. And even if you're just doing it and you're tagging local groups, and you're getting your brand out there, which is invaluable. Even if there's no, that you can't maybe pinpoint that specific correlation, because that takes a little while, to build that, and to make
Yes.
sure that you're joining local groups, and that you're really making that social media work for you. But like I say, where I have seen the direct correlation is, if it wasn't for the AI, and it wasn't for me being able to post on my brand new social media accounts about a brand new shop, and I used Facebook and Instagram to the absolute nth to get people through the door, and it worked. And I could never have done that without the AI, because I would have just run out of steam after about the second post, I think.
Oh, well, Melanie Beard of the Best Health Food Shop, many thanks for joining High Street Matters today.
Lovely. Thank you for having me.
Still with me and listening to that interview is Polly Barnfield of Maybe. Hello again, Polly. It sounds like Maybe AI has worked really well for Best Health Food Shop.
Well, firstly, I'd like to say congratulations to Melanie on a fantastic opening. Well done. And yes, Steve, you asked me for proof earlier on. And yeah, I think Melanie has said it all. Maybe AI is about helping you do your job better. Social media is where your customer is spending time. And if you don't tell them what you're selling, they won't turn up and buy it. And I think, to demonstrate that, Melanie's opened a store in a new location, and the only way she could invite her audience in this is through social media. And it's delightful to hear how our technology is helping businesses trade better, because I think the high street's got a tremendous future. You just have to invite the customer in. To do that, you've got to talk to them, and that takes time. Maybe AI saves you time, helps you achieve it better. And yeah, come and talk to us, because honestly, my passion is helping communities thrive and embrace technology. It's not scary. It's here to help you. As we say, anything is possible.
Polly, we've got lots of listeners out there. Many of them are independent traders who perhaps are not what we might call IT savvy. They may be reluctant to join in. AI in some way might sound too clever. They might lose control, or they might be unsure of the costs they're spending. Why should traders consider using Maybe?
We are absolutely committed to providing a service that is managed by people. You can talk to somebody 24/7. And so if you don't embrace technology because it's scary, I'm scared for your business. Come and talk to us. We demystify AI. We provide 24/7 help from experts. Don't listen to me, listen to Melanie. Honestly, Maybe it's about helping businesses achieve their dreams, doing it faster. And you've got a human to talk to, as well as great technology to deliver your results.
Finally, Polly, tell me about the deal that you've got for Bira members at the moment.
Oh, that's a stonker. So any buyer member gets a 50% off whichever package they choose at Maybe. Maybe is already ridiculously good value. It means that each of your team can be twice themselves and save a ludicrous amount of time. Doesn't take long to learn. And working with Bira, you get 50% off whatever the price of the product you want to buy. So it's great to be working with Bira. They're a fantastic team. And don't delay. Come and grab it.
Polly Barnfield, the founder and chief executive of Maybe, many thanks for joining High Street Matters today. And thanks to you, our audience, for listening to High Street Matters, an original podcast series for Bira, the British Independent Retailers Association. If you enjoyed the points raised today, you can find and listen to previous episodes by simply searching online for High Street Matters Bira. And you can find out more about this and other related subjects by visiting Bira's website at bira.co.uk. Meanwhile, we'll be back soon with more interviews with some of the UK's most successful independent retailers and top experts here at Bira. High Street Matters. Thanks for listening.